Hello all, I welcome you all to this session on basic thermodynamics. In this session, we cover zeroth law of thermodynamics, temperature, thermometer, thermometric property, ice point, steam point, triple point and temperature scales. So, in the last class, we had discussed a very important concept, thermodynamic equilibrium. In thermodynamic equilibrium, you had mechanical equilibrium, chemical equilibrium and the one more was thermal equilibrium. So, what thermal equilibrium means was there should not be any temperature difference within the system or between the system and surroundings, or in other words you can say that if there is no heat transfer because of the temperature difference, you said that the system is in thermal equilibrium. So, it is important to understand zeroth law of thermodynamics. So, remember thermal equilibrium. Before introducing the formal definition of zeroth law of thermodynamics, we need two small definitions of diathermic wall. A diathermic wall is a wall which allows the heat to transfer, okay, whereas the adiabatic wall is the wall which does not allow the heat to transfer. It is a strong boundary, you can say, okay. Adiabatic wall does not allow the heat to transfer, whereas diathermic wall allows the heat to transfer. Now, we will go to the definition of zeroth law of thermodynamics. So, before that you try to understand the figure. We have a system A, system B and system C. System B and system C are separated by an adiabatic wall. That means to say there cannot be a heat transfer between system B and system C, whereas both the systems are in contact with the system A are separated by system A by a diathermic wall. That means to say this wall allows the heat to transfer. So, between system A and B heat can transfer, between system A and C also heat can transfer. Now, obviously if you let this thing happen, all of them will be in the thermal equilibrium. That is what we want to say. In fact, it is not very difficult to say. If this is a wall which allows the heat to transfer, and that means to say all of them will be in thermal contact. So, if you give a certain amount of time, all of them will attain thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means they all will be in the same temperature. However, we will have to define it formally. When a body A or system A is in thermal equilibrium with the body B and also with the body C, then body B and C are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is quite interesting. If body or system A is in thermal contact with system B and also with the system C, then system B and C will be in the thermal equilibrium. That means to say, even without bringing them into contact, system B and C, you can say that they are in thermal equilibrium or they are in the same temperature. So, this is the law which is very simple. In fact, you may find it strange that this is named as zeroth law, not first. Generally laws will start from first law, second law and so on. So, here why we are saying zeroth law is because it was coined at 1931. By the time already first law and second law was well established. So, then they thought that this is more fundamental, or this precedes the other two laws, first and second law. So, they named it as zeroth law of thermodynamics. What does it say? If system A is in thermal equilibrium with system B and also with system C separately, then system B and C are in thermal equilibrium. Or there is one more way also by which you can define it. If one body is in thermal equilibrium with two bodies separately, then all of them will be in the thermal equilibrium with each other. That is also the way by which you can define. So, the third body which we are talking about here, the system A, this itself can be used as a thermometer. For example, if what I do, I take the system A, I bring it in thermal contact with the system C, so you can calibrate it. Then I bring the system A back to system B, then I will check whether the system B is also showing the same reading as that of the system C. Then what you are trying to identify, whether these two, system B and system C, are also in thermal equilibrium or in the same temperature. So, this itself is acting like a thermometer. So, zeroth law of thermodynamics gives us the concept of temperature or the definition of temperature. What is a temperature here? A temperature is a thermodynamic property which describes whether the systems are in thermal equilibrium or not. For example, if at all you are saying system B and system C are in thermal equilibrium, in other words you are saying that system B and system C are in the same temperature. So, remember, zeroth law of thermodynamics gives us the concept of temperature. So, what is temperature? In microscopic scale, you can define temperature as average kinetic energy of molecules. Okay, but we said that at the initial stage itself we will try to study this thermodynamics as a classical thermodynamics, where we will not worry or bother about the events occurring at the molecular level. So, we will have to find the other definition. The other definition is temperature is a property or is a thermodynamic property which describes whether two bodies are in thermal equilibrium or not. So, temperature is a thermodynamic property which describes whether two bodies are in thermal equilibrium or not. Sometimes temperature is also defined as it is a state by which you can identify whether the body is hot or cold. But the engineering definition, you will have to remember, temperature is a thermodynamic property which describes whether two systems are in thermal equilibrium or not. We have defined temperature now. The next definition or the next concept which we are going to discuss about is thermometer. In order to obtain a quantitative measure of temperature, a reference body is selected which we call it as a thermometer, and a physical characteristic which changes with temperature, we call it as a thermometric property. It is like if you take a mercury thermometer, the reference body which we have taken is a glass device inside which you have a mercury. So, that reference body which we are talking about is a thermometer, and a thermometric property is that the physical characteristic which changes with the temperature. For example, in this case, the physical characteristic which changes with temperature is the length of the mercury inside the glass tube. So, that itself is the characteristic which changes with the temperature change, that we call it as a thermometric property. A reference body, in order to measure in order to get the quantitative measure of temperature, we call it as thermometer, and a physical characteristic which changes with temperature, we call it as a thermometric property. So, you can say why mercury is chosen. There are even alcohol thermometer is there. Inside that glass thermometer you have the alcohol. If the changes are happening with the temperature, even the small temperature change can result in the changes in physical characteristic, like the change in length of the mercury and alcohol are very good with respect to the temperature change. That is what is important for us to have a measure of temperature. So, there are other thermometric properties also, because this is not the only temperature measuring device which you have seen, that is glass thermometer. You have resistance thermometer, where resistance is the thermometric property. That means with respect to change in temperature, resistance of the material changes. So, that also can be used as a thermometric property. The other temperature measuring devices are there, which is constant volume gas thermometer, in which change in pressure is used as a thermometric property. In constant pressure thermometer, change in volume is used as a thermometric property. These are those characteristics which changes with respect to temperature are considered to be as a thermometric property. Resistance in resistance thermometer, the length of the mercury or alcohol in a glass thermometer is a thermometric property. Pressure in a constant volume gas thermometer is a thermometric property. Volume in a constant pressure gas thermometer is a thermometric property. So, next definition we will move on. If at all you want to have these measures, you need to have the definition of this in order to discuss the temperature scales. So, ice point, these are the reference points. See, if you have been given a chance to design a thermometer, how do you set 0 in that thermometer, or how do you set 100? What number do you fix it? So, you need to have some reference point by which you can design a thermometer. So, we will look at the definition, then we will try to design what exactly we are talking about in terms of thermometer. The first definition is ice point. The temperature at which pure ice is in equilibrium with air saturated water at 1 atmospheric pressure. The temperature at which pure ice and air saturated water. So, pure ice and water is there. If you mix them, ice should not melt as well as water should not condense back to ice. So, if that is happening at 1 atmospheric pressure, we tend to say that as a ice point. So, the temperature at which this occurs, we call it as ice point. Okay. Pure ice and air saturated water is in equilibrium. So, both should not change its state, then we call that they are in equilibrium. So, that point we call it as ice point. At the definition of steam point, the temperature at which pure water and pure steam is in equilibrium at 1 atmospheric pressure. So, you have pure water and pure steam. So, water should be in the same state, it should not get converted into steam, or steam should not converted into water. If this is happening at 1 atmospheric pressure, we call that as both are in equilibrium, they are not changing their states. So, if this is happening at 1 atmospheric pressure and if you measure the temperature, that temperature we call it as steam point. The next definition is triple point. The temperature at which ice, liquid water and water vapor coexist in equilibrium. So, ice, liquid water and water vapor, all of them will be together and they will not change their states, or they will not change, transfer from one state to the other state. They will be in equilibrium. This happens at 0.006 atmospheric pressure, and this happens to be for water, it is 0.01 degree centigrade. Triple point of water is 0.01 degree Celsius. Ice point of water is 0 degree Celsius. Steam point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Now we will discuss temperature scales. Namely, we have Celsius scale, Fahrenheit, Kelvin and Rankine scale. So, in Celsius scale, ice point is 0 degree Celsius, triple point is 0.01 degree Celsius and steam point is 100 degree Celsius. So, the name of the scientist is Celsius, and he designated his thermometer, when he kept his thermometer in the definition which we studied for ice point, is that the pure ice and liquid water is in equilibrium. So, if Celsius kept his thermometer in ice point, it read 0, or in other words you can say that he marked or he calibrated 0 when he kept the thermometer in the ice point. So, he took that the mixture of pure ice and liquid water which is in equilibrium. So, he kept his thermometer in there, and then whatever the let us say if it is a mercury thermometer, whatever the length it was showing, he marked it as 0. Then the same thermometer he took it into a steam point. I mean to say the water which is boiling, or in other words you said how did we define the steam point? The liquid water and the water vapor both are in equilibrium at 1 atmospheric pressure. He took his thermometer there, he inserted his thermometer, then when it showed some reading, he marked it as 100. So, now there is a difference of 100 divisions between ice point and steam point. So, this is Celsius scale. So, we will discuss about the absolute zero a bit later. Similarly, when Fahrenheit was designing his thermometer, he took brine solution, which is a salt mixture, as his reference point, minimum temperature. That is what we were discussing. If at all you want to design a thermometer, how do you set the minimum and maximum point? It depends on the inventor. So, he tried to achieve further lesser temperature as 0 as a reference point. So, he took that brine solution, which is a salt mixture, and then he tried to mark that as 0. So, but remember, we are taking reference of this. When his thermometer was kept in ice point, it read 32 Fahrenheit, and when his thermometer kept in steam point, it read 212. So, now comes the Kelvin. So, if at all you want to design a thermometer or any measuring device, I want the absolute zero as a 0 below which there should not be a negative temperature, or you can say that I want to have the 0 in the temperature scale beyond which the further lesser temperature is not possible at all. So, such temperature scales are Kelvin and Rankine scale. So, in Kelvin scale, this is the 0. I mean to say, he identified that the kinetic energy of the molecule ceases at a temperature which he considered as absolute 0. So, from there he took the marked it as 0, then he tried to design his thermometer scale. So, he marked 0 as an absolute 0 beyond which there is no negative temperature. This is the absolute 0. So then when this Kelvin scale is inserted in ice point, it measured 273.15 Kelvin, and when it is kept at steam point, it measured 373.16 Kelvin. For Rankine's, see Kelvin scale, the division between ice point and steam point are once again 100 divisions. On the Rankine scale, the absolute zero is same, the temperature at which the molecular activity or the kinetic energy of the molecule ceases. Okay, that itself is 0. In Rankine scale, the ice point read 491.67 and steam point read 671.67. So here the division number of divisions between ice point and steam point are 180 divisions. Now you come back here. So absolute temperature is the temperature beyond which there is no negative temperatures. So when this is, this is a scale in which you took 0 as this. So now when in this scale, if you measure the absolute temperature, it read minus 273.15. Similarly, Fahrenheit, it measured minus 459.67 Fahrenheit. So if you take Rankine and Kelvin scale, you cannot have a negative temperatures, but in these two scales you can have negative temperature, because these two are designed based on absolute zero temperature. So triple point also you can see, triple point 0.01 degree Celsius here. Here because of 180 division you have 32.02. So 273.16, 491.69 is the triple point. Thank you.